Hey guys, I'm Christian. I'm with Grapevine Baseball and Softball. I've been a volunteer with the organization for going on 7 years now, all the way since my oldest was back in blast ball. I want to take just a minute today to chat just about the baseball side of things, our draft process that we have that we go through each season, and we get a lot of questions before each season about how that works and why we do a draft and all those types of things. And so I thought this might be the best format to answer that. On the baseball side, we have two divisions. We have our national division, we have our American division. And the difference in those, our national division is our recreation program, and our American division is what we call our premier division, and that's where we interlock with other cities, with South Lake, with Colleyville, with Coppell, with Flower Mound. Has nothing to do with select baseball. That's a whole other island onto its own. But we have these two divisions, and it sometimes can get confusing. And so all of our kids from coach pitch on up through kid pitch and Bronco and Pony and all of our different divisions as they get older, all of our boys go through what we call a coach look each season. And that coach look is a time of evaluation. It's a tryout, if you will, that they come out, they go through some drills. We always have an independent evaluator there to score them and rank them that really doesn't have any, I guess, hand in the pot as far as the kids go. And so they come and give rankings, and then we score all those kids, and then we put them into what we call a draft process. And I know it seems kind of weird that we have 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds going through a draft, but we found that to create the most equality, the most parity amongst the league, to make sure that we have equal level of play, that this draft process makes a lot of sense. Each team or each coach in our national division from coach pitch on up has the ability to do what we call a coach protect, and they can have in coach pitch up to 4, and as they get older it moves down to 3 and 2. It's usually coach's son, assistant coaches, their sons or daughters, those types of things. Those kids do not have to go through the coach look process, though we encourage them always to do so, just to learn what that process is like. Those who do not get protected go through the process, through the tryout, through the coach look, and then after that's all said and done, all the coaches gather on an evening, and we sit in a big room, and we go around the room, and they're allowed to draft based on the scores that they receive from that independent evaluator or the scores that they have calculated on their own. Those who cannot make it to the coach look or choose not to go through it, it's not a requirement. If they choose not to go through it or cannot make it that day, they will be placed on a team as well. They're just not eligible to be drafted. And so at the end of the draft of eligible players, we take all those who did not go through the look, and then we randomly distribute those to each team evenly. And we found that this is a fair process to go through in terms of keeping coaches or families or kids from trying to game the system and create teams that may be an unfair advantage. Our American teams are actually selected prior to our National League draft. After the coach look, we set a cutoff point based on a percentage, usually roughly, the top 15-20% of the kids that tried out. Based on their scores, they are eligible to be selected by our head coach of our American team. We do not force that coach to take the first 10 kids that tried out, the top scores. Anybody from that cut line above, they're allowed to take, and if they are familiar with the player, sometimes they may take the kid who ranked 12th instead of the kid who ranked 9th. And we find that fair. We find that gives the coach a little bit of flexibility. He doesn't get to select from everybody in the tryout or everybody in the league, and so we still want our premier teams to be relevant, to be able to compete with other cities, and so that's how we found best it works. Sometimes we form one team, sometimes we form 2 teams based on the number of kids and coaches and the talent that we have each season. So we don't have set numbers in terms of how many teams we field. In T-ball, we do not do an American League in the fall. We do that in the springtime when our numbers are a little higher. Fall is usually lower. So I just wanted to say thank you for watching. Thank you for your time today for a moment. Thank you for being a part of Grapevine Baseball and Softball. Please reach out if you have any questions. We'll put my email here on the video, and you'll be able to email me if you'd like. And I love it when you come find me out at the fields and chat. It's fun for me to be out there. It's fun for me to interact with you, to hear your stories, to hear how we can do things better in your opinion, and to be able to answer questions that you may have. And so I appreciate your time. We love being a part of your life, and we love the opportunity to help with your sons and daughters and help them to enjoy this game that we all grew up and still love.